What up, everybody? It's John Escudero, and I'm here with the gang, with the crew. With
gang!
the boys.
Mac's blowing the budget again.
Mac, already. We're fucked. We gotta go home now.
All right.
That was a great episode, everyone.
Woo-hoo! Good job, team. Let's go. See you next week.
Speedrun. Hey, man. This is Dirt Sheet Radio, where we go over the last 7 days of professional wrestling news and rumors. I'm here with Nick, Greg, Mac. You can kind of tell their names under their face, but if you're listening on the audio, why don't you give them your voice and your name?
Yo, what's up? This is Greg Thomas.
Greg,
That was beautiful.
Greg, no.
It's exactly what I thought would happen.
This is what happens. Yo, what's up? It's your boy, Nick LaRocco. You might remember me from that Dynamite recap earlier. Otherwise, hey, you might see me posting things left, right, front, center on the Dirt Sheet Radio page. Make sure you give me a follow.
Greg?
Hey, this is Greg. I'm here weekly on the Dirt Sheet Radio podcast, battling all the time with these crazy motherfuckers.
And finally, Mac.
And I am Mac, and I've been annoying you guys on every single solitary fucking podcast this week. So enjoy another one.
Mac content.
Still got SmackDown to go, you fuckers.
Let's
Nick Mac John.
Go. Friday, Nick Mac John. No, man. This is Dirt Sheet Radio, though. We're here to talk about the news. Hey, fellas, how have you been? How has your week been? How are you enjoying pro wrestling? Greg, Mac, Nick, and I got to talk about AEW All Out together. We'd like to know your thoughts on some of the bigger things on the show. Maybe some of the things you remember. Maybe some of the thoughts you had off your head. Maybe you thought the Hangman match was just too violent. Goddamn.
Petition time.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
God. Why does Jericho just get the worst things over? If I had any immediate thoughts, it's what I had already shared with you, John, which was I probably would have ended that cage match like 8 minutes earlier. Because I felt like the right finish was the finish with the shard of the house. I thought the finish should have been doing what I thought was a rarely topical and maybe even like, I'm not sure if tasteful is the word, but intelligent homage to the Magnum TA Tully Blanchard finish, where it is visually an homage, but at the same time it is serving their story because it is part of the house that was burnt down. I thought that was the obvious finish. Just like Adam Page like stabbing him with a freaking piece of the house.
Yeah, just run from the corner and just stab him and knock him out.
Yeah, obviously they went with the big chair shot. The chair shot was fine. I could have done without the needle. The needle is one of those things where it's like, this isn't even a high impact thing or the most painful thing. It's just gross visually.
Yeah.
And it's like, fine, whatever. If you're like a regular deathmatch watcher, you are so desensitized to this idea. Yeah. But like most people are just like, oh my god.
That's why it works, right? I feel like in a way, it's And then I don't know how much. I don't know if I would do. I don't even like needles in my arm, right? But
No.
you figure for people who take thumbtacks up the ass on a weekly basis, it's another little prickle, and it's probably a lot less harmful than with the actual finish, which with that
Lander had to take him in the coochie.
With that chair.
You know what's funny? Somebody said to me the other day, they were like, "Oh, they shouldn't be doing mutilation spots in wrestling." And I was like, "Hey, do you remember the Hell in a Cell match that Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy had, where he put a fucking screwdriver through his ear and twisted it?" I go, "Shut the fuck up."
That was honestly
that shit made me uncomfortable as fuck.
That was harder to watch than the needle. I swear it was.
I was surprised they did that.
But yeah, no, I wanted to hear Greg, and I wanted Greg to tell the folks maybe what he thought of the show. It's cool though. I agree that they went a little far. I think I wanted them to though, especially because they had gone so fucking farther in the Texas death match. I was like, how do you even how do you top that? And they were like, watch, we're gonna actually try to kill each other. I was like, wait. The cinder block, I thought, for me, was the most uncomfortable for the match.
There's
I thought
give to that.
It was so much more uncomfortable than the needle for me, because I expected, okay, when Hangman scraped his back on it, I was like, all right, fuck, like that's bad, right?
Yeah.
But when Swerve crashed onto it with the powerbomb, I thought it was gonna dust. Like I thought the cinder block would dust. I thought it was just like the Keith Lee one. Bro,
they used the cinder block that they used in the Texas death match, John.
That shit didn't fucking move, bro.
I am the cinder block.
I thought he was dead. I said, fuck. Like that's there's no work.
I was gonna say I thought it was gonna be the old Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins cinder block.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys want to hear something funny? So I was at a Beyond Wrestling show one time, and Matt Tremont was facing I can't remember his name, but he kind of looked like Matt Tremont too. And they did a cinder block spot where Matt Tremont, and I was ringside, took a pile driver on a cinder block. His head legitimately hit it. And I was like, oh, that's probably a fake cinder block. They go to intermission. I reach into the ring. I grab the cinder block. It's a real fucking cinder block. I was like, what the fuck? They were throwing it at each other, power bombing each other on top of it. I was like, what in the actual fuck? I thought this thing was going to have a little give to it. No, it was like a legit cinder block. I was like, no.
I was thinking about how when Swerve picked it up, I was thinking how hilarious that would be if it just crumbled in his hands right there. And I kind of wish that it did, because the way he drops it and it just all the way to the mat, I'm like, oh no.
No, they're selling it. They're auctioning it off, the cinder block. And you can take it. I was like, I thought the same thing. Like, why didn't I think that? Why didn't I think that would happen? I honestly wish I could have. I wish I had some sort of museum space for it, like a pedestal and a glass casing.
Sell the piece of wood.
What I wanted to say to that spot was the Swerve spot had a little bit more impact to it. I was actually much more concerned about the Hangman one, because the Hangman one gave me Shawn Michaels flashbacks.
Yeah.
The way his lower back hits the corner of it, I was just like, oh, Hangman's about to be out for 3 years.
But see, when he hit it, I thought that it didn't dust because he missed.
Yeah.
I thought he missed too.
Well, I think we lost Greg's voice for a second, but
no, I was done with that.
Oh, but yeah, I thought he missed, but no, there's Men Are Maniacs. They continued his story arc on Dynamite tonight. He didn't get better from the darkness.
No, still very angry.
It tends to be how that works. You can't just walk away from it. But I think I would have really I want to see where this goes. I don't know how this ends now, because he did kill Swerve, and now he's like, and I will kill anybody who even tried to get in my way. I'm like, wait, hey man, relax. I don't know where this arc ends. Please save him.
This is that thing where it's like Walter White in the car. You're like, Jeff Jarrett, no, don't go to him.
So
Jeff, don't step up.
Here's a question. So he said that anybody who tried to keep me from Swerve. So do you think Bryan might be one of those people, since Bryan won the Owen and beat him in the final? He kept him from Swerve.
If they had time.
If they had time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that we have time. I think Bryan's got a couple built-in things they have to deal
When's
with.
the Washington event?
October 12th.
1 month from now.
That's not a lot of time.
No. Scary. Bryan's only got 1 month left. That's fucking scary, bro. I don't know what to do with that information. We might as well talk about Dynamite, the big part of Dynamite tonight, I thought, for me anyway. The biggest part of
before you get to that, I will say, like, this is sort of an amalgamation of what we talked about last week with Adam Page, where it's like, I talked about saying, well, I think he's probably going to lose because they need to keep him angry. And you said he's probably going to win and get over the anger, and they decided to have him win and still not get the fuck over it. Cut it right down the middle, daddy.
They gave us the old King Solomon.
Dude, shoot with the references.
We thought earlier that means Jeff Jarrett and Hangman have to have a big old stipulation match with some cowboy aesthetic.
Texas Chainsaw Texas death match.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre match.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. But shit, let's get into that big news. I was gonna say Bryan McGuinness. Bryan Danielson.
Right. Good old Bryan McGuinness.
Fusion wrestler.
Well, they got this BCC storyline going on. This shit is sick. I think this is it's my favorite thing in AEW right now. The Moxley thing. Have you seen any of it on Dynamite, Greg?
I don't know what they did today.
Oh,
I was busy being stressed out trying to watch these damn Yankees.
Oh. Fake sports. You gotta watch this real stuff.
Oh, Jesus. Okay,
Mr. Anderson.
They basically they kicked the show off with a promo from them, like a video promo, like a cold open sick ass video promo. Then they did,
which is unusual for them.
It's very unusual. They weave them throughout the entire episode, and then climax with a confrontation between Moxley and Darby, where Moxley tells Darby that he doesn't have time to explain to him why, but he loves him. He's never lied to him, and he needs him to give him that world championship opportunity.
Mostly because I've never spoken to him.
I was like, yeah, that's really interesting. Jesus is Jazz with the win, Greg. I don't know what these sports references mean. They're Chinese.
Jazz is referring to Jazz Chisholm Jr., who scored the winning hit.
You see?
What was his last name?
That's
Jazz
crazy.
Chisholm Jr.
That's crazy. That's
Chisholm.
crazy.
I know exactly what you were thinking, man.
That's insane. No, they named that for
Excuse me,
real.
run that by me one more time.
What are they doing in sports ball over there?
He is from the Bahamas. I don't know how they name people there. He's got like 5 names.
Yeah, they name him after
Be nice.
sperm.
The Chisholm family. The Chisholm family. Anyway,
The Dynamite show went on too long.
yeah, they seem to
Gisardo
be
Prince Hermes Ellington Chisholm Jr.
They seem to be hinting at some sort of higher purpose or some sort of bigger thing happening down the line. But essentially, they keep saying one thing that's clear is that they're taking over the company. They want it. It's broken. Moxley said there's entitled people in the back who think they deserve
Have the
something.
promo started going black and white yet?
Not yet, but they're getting there. Well, the clothes are black and white instead, or black and green. Moxley's, or white and green, excuse me. Moxley's
The background's all
like
black.
Peter Griffin.
Yeah, fucking Peter Griffin looking ass.
Hey, just remember, diplomacy has failed. Today, Jon Moxley has chosen war.
He did. They did say that. Moxley said that.
Doesn't
Pac
make
said
any
that.
sense.
Diplomacy has failed because Bryan tried to do things like a pussy. They said he's a bitch. Bryan Danielson went out there smiling and shit. We have
Bryan
to actually
Danielson's a
stab
bitch.
people, Bryan. Well, they did say they killed him because he didn't have the stomach to do what comes next. And I guess what comes next is taking over the company. But I don't.
And they literally killed him too.
I don't know what that means. And we were telling Nick and Mac on the Dynamite Rewind, which you should go watch if you enjoy Dynamite, even if you don't. But that if they brought in Shane McMahon now with this group of killers around him, I wouldn't be so weird about it as I was when I first heard his name, just considering the people who he's surrounded with.
Now, does it seem like Moxley has like a sense of urgency since he's like, hey, listen, I can't explain it to you right now, but I need that title shot. Just give it to me. Yeah.
There's something coming, and I imagine it's gonna be at Grand Slam. I think.
I can't explain it right now, but the tickets for Arthur Ashe aren't really selling. You need to move out the main event.
Yes. Get out of the way. We got something.
Sorry, Darby. The draws are here.
No, I laugh, but I think I think these things were set up that way on purpose. I think they gave Darby that title shot for Grand Slam with no intention of ever having him have the match, which I think is dangerous because you never know who's like, I need that Bryan Danielson and Darby match in my life. How could you take it from me?
Yeah.
I think
are you one of those people?
I would love to see that match, but they were like.
But instead, you got John Moxley, Darby Allin 2.
That's actually fine because they were like, here's what Bryan is really doing. I think they banked on the idea that people would be okay with it as long as they got the Nigel Bryan announcement. And listen, for me, it landed. I'm fine. I don't know a person who was like, I'd rather have the Bryan Danielson versus Darby Allin.
I kind of felt that way in Kentucky.
The whole situation is just like, hey guys, look, these tits are gone, but wait, bigger tits.
Wait,
the thing was is that the whole crux of the Moxley and Darby conversation was Bryan's not cleared. Bryan's not going to be cleared. He's not wrestling. And then he's like, well, give me your title shot. He goes, well, I'll face you for my title shot. He's like, all right, cool, And then literally 2 segments later, they're like, Nigel McGuinness was like, I'm facing Bryan Danielson. And people are like, wait a minute. What?
Opportunity.
Yeah.
If they felt that, then they weren't paying attention or not watching. Because Nigel spent 5 minutes saying he probably can't fucking make it because he's a coward, pussy ass bitch. But if he can, if he can, but we talked about that on the Dynamite show. Essentially, it was Nigel McGuinness stealing his opportunity, and it was meant to be that way, underhanded and nasty. And he waited for Bryan to be at his lowest,
maybe. But conceptually speaking, you would also expect that if Bryan Danielson is healthy enough to wrestle, he would be beholden to the deal that he had already made.
Well, they already made a different deal before Nigel ever got involved. He waited for things to be locked down, and then he was like, ha, Tony Khan, I got an opportunity to make money for you, which is what they implied, that Tony Khan is a sicko, like you've said.
Tony Khan doesn't run a company like a normal person.
They literally, in storyline, Nigel says, Tony Khan sees dollar signs, so he gave me this contract, and if you can make it, you can get you, and if you can make it, and if you're not a coward, then I'll beat your ass at Grand Slam.
Tony Khan got assaulted and handed down 0 punishments.
Yeah, he was like, "This is great for television." Tony, you have broken ribs. This is great.
The scared for my life man handed down no punishment for being actually assaulted on live television.
The scared for my life man.
Salem's still there.
Is the real guy. This Tony Khan character is
there is no difference.
There's a clear difference. I think I don't think the real Tony Khan would actually put a broken neck Bryan Danielson in the main event.
And once you put it on screen, there was definitely no difference.
But that being said, Bryan versus Nigel is definitely it's definitely gonna happen. I can't imagine he's just not cleared for real.
Switch that.
Oh shit, that graphic wasn't lying.
I would not trust New Yorkers with that potentiality.
Yeah, he just set the building on fire.
But John, there's only been a 2-week build.
That's fine. All the
excuse me, card subject to change.
That's fine. It's actually been like I don't know how long has Nigel been doing commentary on the Collision.
Since 2022, like 2 years.
I feel like on day one he was shit talking Bryan.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I mean, literally, like every opportunity he ever had in interviews, even when he was working with WWE, he'd be like, they'd be like, "Oh, what was your favorite match?" He'd be like, "Oh yeah, ROH Unified in London with that Clem Digger Daniel Bryan, or whatever name he was using at the time." So it's been long standing, man. He hates him.
I think it's interesting they didn't do it. I know obviously they had bigger plans. They went with the Wembley moment, Bryan as world champion. It was big. It was probably the best AEW. I think it's my favorite AEW moment ever. I think. I don't know if there's a bigger one except for being at Bryan versus Kenny. And for that match, that was special. But watching that Wembley moment at home was equal. That was big. So I mean, I don't blame them for not doing Bryan and Nigel at Wembley. It's just interesting that they went with the anniversary of their last match rather than the Nigel hometown retirement.
Sure.
It worked out though.
And I think this is a situation too where like you could put it on the Britain show on paper, but at the same time there's so much happening on the All In show. Like, you know what, let's put it on the show where it's about like where you guys get sort of the spotlight on it. And there's not too many other distractions.
They booked the Hammerstein Ballroom just for that match. That's that WWE shit. Remember they split Raw in half one time? You watched half of it at the Hammerstein and the other half at the Barclays Center?
No, not that, the Manhattan Center.
Oh, the Manhattan Center, yeah. The Grand Ballroom.
Like half though. They only had like one match and like one interview. The crowd sat there the whole time and was like, what the fuck is going on?
They had to watch on the screens. That's crazy. That's crazy. It was like
welcome to your closed circuit presentation of Monday Night Raw.
You got to be witness to the day FTR decided they never want to work here again.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So yeah, man. That's I wanted to talk about just. I guess I'll let you talk first, Greg, or because Mac and I, again, we got to say some things on the Dynamite Rewind. I have more to say because I kind of held back, but
specifically about Bryan and Nigel?
Yeah, it's not just all of it. Bryan, we're here. This is happening.
This is it.
Did you really think this was gonna happen?
I kind of did. Like, if only for this case, like they spent so much time on it that it was hard to believe that they wouldn't have paid it off unless there was genuinely some just how do you say, some medical reason that they could not do it. It's hard to believe that any other reason would have sufficed. So I'm not surprised that we're doing it, but I am pleased. I'm happy about it. I'm going to try to make it to a show that I had written off.
You gonna go?
I'm gonna try.
I was fucking around. Don't sell your ass. I told him to sell his ass because he's going to Disneyland and he's already got things booked. And I said you should or Disney World. Excuse me, sir.
Listen, I gotta make sure there isn't any expectations. I'm going to the one in Florida.
It's going to the big one with the big ball. But yeah, no, I told him he should sell his ass to make sure that he gets to the show.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
But yeah,
no, we literally just paid for the Disney tickets tonight with my credit card, and like I'm waiting to get paid tonight so I can have actual money again and not feel like a broke ass bitch. and like, so then John tells me that they switched the main event and it's our fucking Legacy main event, and I'm just like, oh, I'm a broke ass bitch.
That's fucking crazy though. Like it made me feel bad for even having tickets to Wrestle Dream. I was like, why am I not at this? Why am I not at this?
And like, so and then it was interesting too because me and my girlfriend were going to get tickets to the Yankee game the day before, and it's like she can't do the Yankee game and AEW, so like I have to try to get somebody else to come with me.
Throw that shit out. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. What the fuck are you gonna do with that? You going to Disney? You gotta go to the Yankees too. You going to Disneyland? Get out of here. Or Disney World, the planet of Disney.
The planet
Disney Galaxy.
Yeah.
Listen,
You get to
listen.
Don't
think they wouldn't fucking try. What?
You get to
Mac?
torture yourself by going to a Yankees game the day before, and then you get to go to Disney. So you take the good with the bad.
Well, no, Disney's in October.
Oh, okay.
It's coming.
So you'll have plenty of time to recuperate from watching that shit team in that shit stadium. Okay, cool.
I'm sorry, what place are your Red Sox in?
I don't care. I don't watch baseball. I just know the Yankees suck.
Fuck yourself.
But yeah, no, I know it's one of those things where you do have to put everything to the side and try to be there at all costs.
John, do you remember when I messaged you and you were like, Mac, you going to big business? And I was like, nah, tickets are like $90, and you were like, Mac, go to fucking big business. I was like, okay,
$90. I was looking at it.
I feel like every time a show goes to Chicago, I'm just like, so Nick.
I know. Even if it's not like one of the main ones, you just send me the link, and I'm like, oh man, that's a really bad part of town.
Sometimes I just send him shitty indie shows, like, look what trash is on tonight.
They have indie shows in the middle of the ghetto. You're
in scary areas.
I say this to every wrestling fan. It is imperative that at least one time in your life you go to a shitty local indie. Yeah. You just have to experience the shitty and for what it's worth, it is entirely possible that you find one gem at your shitty local indie who ends up in NXT in 3 years, and you will be glad you saw that guy or gal.
All right,
but you should go see it.
Let me tell you this.
Oh,
I went to a local shitty indie wrestling show in Watertown, Massachusetts, which was like 5 miles down the street from my door, right? Mm-hmm. They had a little person match to start it off. Then they had a women.
They can afford to pay the little people.
Then they had a women's match that it looked like these girls had never wrestled before. And
nice.
then they went to intermission in the second match. They had like 9 matches announced. And then intermission, here comes Scott Hall, Booker T dressed like G.I. Joe, Bubba Ray Dudley. I'm like, what the hell, right? So then more subpar matches, and then they're like, all right, a special attraction match. Here's Shane Strickland versus JT Dunn in a ladder match. We were like, what the fuck? They just pulled out Swerve Strickland and JT Dunn in a ladder match. And then they had like no main event announced. So Bubba Ray Dudley comes out and he goes, yeah, I want to have a match with...
John has already left. I want you to know that.
He goes, I want to have a match with veteran superstar backstage. So I want to have a tables match. So somebody come out. So fucking Adam Pearce, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce comes out. Bubba Ray Dudley and Adam Pearce have a match.
Chicago's own.
Middle of the match, Spike Dudley, bald, out 3D with Bubba Ray Dudley and puts fucking Adam Pearce through the table. And then they just go, and dude, I'm not even joking. As soon as Pearce went through the table, they were like, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming tonight. We appreciate your attendance. Please exit through the front door. We were like, what the fuck?
And then Spike Dudley starts handing out his realtor cards.
But
in case you need one of these.
I did get Scott Hall to sign my figure with him holding the 2 titles on the ladder.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, just to get it back to Greg before I take it from you, did you get to say everything you wanted about that Nigel and Bryan match?
I'm happy. I'm happy it happened. I'm happy for Nigel that it happened. I'm happy for Bryan that it happened. Bryan Danielson may have the greatest wish fulfillment farewell tour in all of professional wrestling. He gets the He gets the big Wembley Stadium match. He gets the match at with Blue Panther in Arena Mexico. He got to do Wrestle Kingdom. He got to do. He's getting to do Nigel. Is Bryan asked for anything else?
I don't know that there's anything.
He wanted to do a hair match, but everyone's just like, "Look, no, dude."
Nikki is like, "Watch it. You've taken too much." Or Brie, excuse me.
Yeah, Brie.
I'm not even looking at them. How'd I get them confused?
Danielson, my man.
Which, by the way, apparently Nikki has actually, in fact, filed for divorce. I saw on TMZ.
That is a big deal. I wondered if we should have talked about that. I just didn't know how to handle that. I'm not like a.
Well, you brought her name up. I figured you may as well just take that fish right there.
Brag. No, that was crazy though. That was I heard they said he abused her, and then he went to jail in Napa. It was crazy. She got away from him though. That's great.
Yeah. So did you hear my theory about that?
No, don't. No, stop right there. You can't, no, we will not theorize on their relationship on the show.
Well, I mean, just
no, stop right there.
I won't say.
We do not condone.
It's not entertaining. This.
I won't say what I was going to say, but what I'm going to say is, based on the information that we had, led me to believe that a certain thing might have happened.
I think a lot of things. I think a lot of things happened in there, and that's why she got out. I'm glad that she did.
You know what really happened? R-Truth commenting on the Shannon Sharp thing.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
Shannon Sharp came out tonight and said he wasn't hacked.
He said it?
Oh, you took it back?
Yeah, dude, there's a video. Yeah,
he took it back.
Yeah, no, he goes, I wasn't hacked. He goes, it was something that just happened. He goes, I'm a private person. I'm like, what?
It's me, Austin.
It happens, man. Just not to.
Yeah.
Just
let
not
me see
to
what he
anybody.
Let me see. I'll look it up. You guys
R-Truth went above and beyond, though.
Man, R-Truth was doing color commentary.
R-Truth doing play-by-play on it.
Getting back to the Bryan and Nigel thing, though, because I gotta keep it on track for.
Yeah. I don't know what more I had to say. That I want to believe that like I shouldn't have. I guess like I shouldn't have super high expectations of it. Nigel hasn't been in the ring in like several years in a singles match, but I'm sure they'll have fun, and I think that's kind of the important thing to take from this.
For sure. That's certainly one thing. I'm not expecting this to be like Bryan versus
2008
Nigel,
United or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 2009. No.
2006. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn, we're old. Anyway, I don't expect this to be that at all. I am happy enough just seeing Nigel come out to fucking in the bushes, and Bryan's final countdown playing immediately after, like you don't even understand. No, you do understand. Some of you people at home might not understand. For historical context, if you don't, you may not know why this even matters. Why? What beyond the fact that they just wrestled in the Ring of Honor a long time ago. Bryan's wrestled a lot of people. You gonna get excited when he wrestles Matt Striker in the main event? No, it's special. Bryan.
No, some people might, but not for reasons that benefit Mike Striker.
And you don't even know the fucking Matt Striker we're talking about, which is the craziest thing.
Yes.
Hey, John.
Duality of Matt Strikers.
Can I just say something about the Shannon Sharp thing? So what he said was he did an emergency podcast, and he said, obviously I'm embarrassed for someone who is extremely private. I'm disappointed in myself for engaging in an act like that, but what really happened was that I was looking at Instagram and threw my phone on my bed.
He got crazy.
Yeah. You know who that'll never happen to? Matt Striker with a Y.
Matt Striker with a Y and the two caterpillar eyebrows.
Oh man.
Yeah. So Bryan and Nigel were the pinnacle of wrestling outside of WWE for a little bit in the 2000s. I'd say from like 2006 to about 2009. Those 3 years, you ask people who was the best in the world, and they'd say Bryan Danielson, and another half would say Nigel McGuinness. They kind of were 1A and 1B for a lot of people. For me, Nigel McGuinness was my fucking guy. Bryan Danielson was just a little bit better, though, for me. And I always thought, like, I love Bryan, but that Nigel, man, when he goes to WWE, he's gonna fucking make it, man. He's got all that charisma, and he got the spiky hair, and he's got the character.
A little bit more, and more of the size.
He's taller. He's longer. You thought it was guaranteed, and you didn't even think Bryan would go to WWE. So when they announced they both got signed, or we all thought they both got signed, when it was rumored that they were both leaving the WWE, and they did their final match at what is it? What was the fucking? Was it the Final Countdown? What was the name of the damn show? It was the Final Encounter.
It was the Final Countdown, New York City. Because the night before, I was actually at that show, the Final Countdown Boston, when it was Bryan and Davey Richards.
Oh, the one where Davey had the flu.
Dude, they kicked each other's asses. 39 minutes, John. 39 minutes.
I watched. I love that fucking tour, and I watched.
That sounds like the only kind of match Davey Richards knows how to have.
Wrestling Road Diaries. One of my favorite wrestling documentaries of all time. It's just following Bryan on the Final Countdown tour.
And what's his name? Nigel faced Roddy on that show. It was like 8 minutes, and they chanted "Future Jobber" at him.
That's right. That was a chant.
Yeah.
They used to be a lot cheekier about indie guys signing.
You fucking loser.
Well, no, but that's
shit on you.
But that's the thing. They knew Bryan had signed because they named the whole fucking tour after him. The Final Countdown.
We knew he was leaving.
But I'm saying, like, the crowd used to be a lot cheekier about guys going to the big companies.
Not Ring of Honor, man. Not Ring of Honor. They chanted "Future Jobber" at Tyler Black and "Get the fuck out."
That's what you mean.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they used to be like really shitty about people like going on to the big show.
Okay, yeah.
They
Because I was at one of the New York shows where like Punk faced Roderick, and this was right after they had found out about it, like before the heel turn, but they had found out about it, and and somebody was like see you on Velocity, Punk. He's like, you will be watching, and everyone laughed at him.
That motherfucker signed his WWE contract on the Ring of Honor title, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And years later, I found out that was a shoot contract.
It was.
Yeah. Yep.
So both of them, Bryan and Nigel, are signed to the WWE, and
Glory by Honor 8, the Final Countdown was the show.
There's a medical examination before you can actually sign the contract. Nigel doesn't pass. He tells the company about a prior injury, and they say that they can't clear him unless he gets a surgery, which he can't actually afford to get. Bryan lies. He said, "I'm fine." And they were like, "Yes, you are. Come on in." So they let him in, and then Bryan.
To learn, Bryan's entire hiring is just a litany of lies.
No, but here's the thing, right? Here's just fucked up, right? So Nigel tells the truth, and he loses out. They don't sign him. Bryan lies. Yeah. He gets signed, and almost immediately he goes out for a year. He's out injured for a year because of fucking injury you didn't tell him about. Yeah. So he was injured under their contract though, so they're gonna help him out, which is fucked for Nigel because he didn't have that. So his career ends up not in the same place as Bryan Danielson. As a matter of fact, his kind of almost phased out entirely Nigel McGuinness's wrestling career. He had a resurgence as a commentary man in Ring of Honor and then in NXT. And then finally back in AEW or in AEW.
Yeah. Are we going to let John just conveniently skip over the whole Desmond Wolf thing?
I was just gonna say
yes. Actually, he had some matches with Kurt Angle in some indie promotion somewhere, and those were really
you piece of shit.
Those were really good, but I don't know what happened.
Fortune never
after that.
What are you, Brian Alvarez in the fucking Figure 4 Weekly? TNA saw he's dead.
Look out, it's Magnus.
And Bryan goes on to become one of the most revered wrestlers in the history of the sport, right? So they've even acknowledged, Bryan acknowledged that he feels guilty. Like sometimes fucking guilt when he's winning. He won the fucking WWE World Championship at WrestleMania 30, and he wrote Nigel to thank him and everything. And then you just imagine Nigel felt like shit because that could have been him, and his opportunity never came. So
Yeah.
his wrestling career ended, and we may never have seen Bryan or Nigel share a ring again. And somehow, some magical fucking way, we're here, and we're gonna see Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness on a big stage on national television in New York City.
I was say the term gets thrown around quite a bit, but like, Bryan had like serious imposter syndrome for a lot of that run.
It's a understandable thing. But this is why I said if he feels like a dream. It's everything. This is everything to me. We can watch AEW weekly, and because of the nature of what we do, we criticize it and we critique it, and all of pro wrestling, everything that we do, we watch it to talk about it. So this is what we thought was wrong. This is what we thought was right. Sometimes when you do that, maybe for a living, maybe for fun, you don't realize that you're saying so many negative things. You start to think that you just have an overall negative perception, but that's not even what it is. You fucking confused yourself. You've just been talking too much, thinking too hard about it, forgetting how you felt in the moment. When I look back on this fucking company, and Jesus Christ, I there have been, of course, every goddamn Dynamite isn't perfect, but they gave me Bryan versus Nigel, and that's the latest in a series of things that they've given me as a wrestling fan that I could have never had on this level otherwise.
They gave you Bryan Danielson as a world champion again,
but right? Not Bryan. No, but like. Even beyond that, like, he would have been world champion again in WWE, and they would have gave him that shit over and over again.
Yeah,
he got to be the ultimate version of Bryan Danielson. Like, the American Dragon came back and was 100%, even when his body told him no. He was fucking the American Dragon on cable television. Yeah. Week after week after week, just being Bryan. There was never a bad Bryan performance, not once, not fucking once. Holy shit! I will never not be grateful for this shit existing and happening. Fuck you.
You say that they
awesome.
gave you. They say that they give you something. Now look, I know how it all turned out, and we all know how it's going now, but. I mean, I'll remember to the day I fucking die where I was when CM Punk returned to AEW to wrestling after 7 years. I'll remember exactly where I was.
They shouldn't have done that. They fucked that one. We should have let Sleeping Dogs lie on that one, but you know what? It is what it is.
Hey, the first dance was iconic, and Rampage mattered back then.
I mean, look how well they handled the Brody situation. How classy they did it and everything, and WWE. I'm not bashing them, but if he had died in their company, they probably just would have been like, oh, okay, well, he move on, and but AEW handled it classy. I'm not saying that WWE didn't handle Bray Wyatt classy, because they did, but I'll forever be grateful that AEW handled that Brody Lee situation the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I but specifically with this Bryan Danielson and Nigel match again, I'm more than excited that it's happening. I am beyond ecstatic. This is a dream.
Which is crazy too when you think about how when AEW was first formed way back in like 2019. Who would have thought that we would be getting the world champion Bryan Danielson defending it against Nigel freaking McGuinness in the main event of a major show?
Well, not defending it, but yeah.
Defending it, yeah, but...
I'm considering it as a defense.
I told Greg before, this is AEW is literally what Ring of Honor was supposed to be. Like, it actually might as well. That's why I was fine. Everyone's like, oh no, they don't use Ring of Honor right. I'm like, they are fucking Ring of Honor. Just give them the trademark. Like, it literally is. This is what I always imagined Ring of Honor would be. This is This is 1-to-1 what I thought Ring of Honor would become. This kind of wrestling, making it to this level on television. But I thought it was going to be like the ECW story. Like, I thought they would be the little engine that could, and then we'll get there. And it seemed like it. And of course, you can go back and listen to all our episodes, and we've lamented on how it turned out. But
yeah,
I feel like we still got it.
There's still an episode in me and John's head about just lambasting Ring of Honor's choices toward the end there.
But yeah, no, I think it turned out okay. We ended up okay. I got what I wanted. Tony Khan, you sick man.
Yeah,
the sickle of the sickos.
If there's something that AEW has done fairly well, it is not all the time, but fairly well most sometimes. It is sort of rewarding wrestling fans for having a long memory in an industry which has sort of almost punished you for that for so goddamn long.
Honestly, wait, fuck those fans, fuck normal fans, and fuck people who watch this shit on television. But the best thing that they fucking do is service the sick to mid 2000s indie wrestling fan to the absolute pinnacle. Like, anything you ever fucking wanted as a nerd ass wrestling mark in the year 2000 and 2010, Tony Khan has made it his fucking mission to make it come true. It's like, this is every Ring of Honor thing you ever could have dreamed of. Did you watch PWG? We do that shit on a Wednesday night. This is what we do. It's why I said. It's why I posted something on social media on the Monday after the show. I was like, listen, of course, like the people are gonna say that this was too violent. Like, it was too violent for them. Like, it was not for them. Like, it's for you. It's for you who watched it and said that was sick. That was disgusting. I need more. It was for you. It was for me. Like, this shouldn't exist. There's an actual man with unlimited pockets throwing money into a thing that other people can't do. That other people can't do because they're too worried about what's gonna fall and what's not gonna work. And this guy has got an actual unlimited amount of money to just do it. We live in a dream world. We should not be here. We will miss this when it's gone because it can't last forever.
Tony Khan goes, hey, you want some ROH and PWG? Cool. You also want were you a fan of Zandig and Lobo? You want a cage of death? Okay, I'll give it to you in Chicago.
We just do that.
Yeah.
Where's Nick Gage?
Again, you make sure the pizza ads are ready to go.
We have a rob a bank supermarket sweepstakes.
David Arquette's the book for the show.
Independent of anything you've ever known, like independent of everything that had happened and went down, I have very fond memories of hearing those first few notes of Masara Cantera, and I was just like, yes, that's something I never thought I'd fucking ever have to get to see again. And it was like we did the shorts and the entrance and all that bullshit, and I was just like, this is sort of this is the stuff you used to put in video games. It was like, I want to see the Ring of Honor on that fucking stage. It's that kind of rewarding long memories that's very endearing to a long time wrestling fan, which is why it's why the Final Countdown matters to a lot of people. It's why Masara Cantera mattered to a lot of people. It's why people gave a shit about which theme song Orange Cassidy chose to fucking come out to.
I mean, I want to say too, you got that aspect of even just beyond, like, if you're a hardcore, 2000s, 2010s indie mark. I mean, this is, going back. You can go to 80s, 90s WCW even. You're getting a lot of that with when they brought in, Juventud to take on Jericho when he was Lionheart. You of course have the finale for Sting. Like, there's a lot of great stuff that's been there for, at the very least, pro wrestling fan service for anyone who has been a fan for as long as we have.
We talked about it. We talked about it during the Continental Classic, where I was like, "Can you imagine 10 years from now looking back at the piece of data that says, in 2023, Tony Khan held a tournament to create a United States Triple Crown Championship based on the All Japan one, specifically to give it to Eddie Kingston, who has been a big All Japan pro wrestling fan his whole life."
Yeah.
Who wishes Toshiaki Kawada was his dad?
What the fuck, bro? Anyway, we got other things to talk about, but this is just
By the way,
crazy.
Kawada fucking talked him into using the Powerball.
Which is
He told him, he said, finish Claudio off in that match with the powerbomb, and motherfucker did it.
because he said, "Why the fuck are you using the Northern Lights bomb, you dusty bitch?"
Yeah.
You know, Sting is Darby's dad, and I have
essentially.
Kawada as mine.
And another,
He almost kind of
thing
fucking
too,
clowned him into it. He was like, "You said I'm your favorite wrestler, but you're fucking using Sasaki's finish. What the fuck is up with you, dog?"
Kingston said, "All right, hold on to that, because I'm
Fucking
gonna go.
hated Sasaki.
I'll fix this. I'm gonna go win a world championship with your powerbomb. Give me a fucking second."
Watch this.
thing too.
It was great.
If Nigel McGuinness is listening to this, you frost those tips in 2 weeks, you son of a bitch.
He's going to. You see the
He
hair's
is?
grown out. It's at a level where he can do it now. Did you see his head? He's got
Yes.
the hair, man. He can spike that shit up tomorrow. We're here. It's gonna be a moment. It's gonna be a moment. I won't be able to hold on. I won't be able to compose myself on that
Got that fucking
Dynamite
iron
recap.
too.
It's gonna be awesome. So
The fucking iron.
what else did we have to talk about tonight? I'm sorry. That's most like I just wanted to gush over that existence.
Ray and Kyle
No.
Fletcher becoming the number one
No.
contenders for the tag titles.
No, that is what it is. I forgot to talk about the PWI 500. Hello,
Oh,
Oh boy.
Cody
He was
Rhodes.
number one.
Cody
Oh,
Rhodes. Cody Waberman Jensen.
That's a far cry from Raheem Rhodes.
Oh boy, we had some. There were some arguments about this, and I'm just like, every year there's arguments about the PWI.
We're not gonna go over the whole top 10. Oh my God, Dan Mora drew the absolute Batman. Oh God,
Okay, that happened.
Jesus Christ.
Why are we not going over the top 10?
Cody Rhodes
we
joined
will
the
go over the
illustrious
top 10.
Dean Malenko.
Not the whole 20. Not the whole 500. We
Okay.
are going
No,
to.
yeah, that's
Forever.
I'm pulling it up right now. Actually, I had it in front of me, and now I don't.
You messed it up.
Just
fucked
remember.
it up.
1997, Dean Malenko was number one.
He was.
They apologized for that shit.
Oh.
Did you know that?
Can I also say that?
Who needs to know that? He's number one.
Can I also say that Swerve? You know, like I know we're going to go over the list, but Swerve is the highest ever black wrestler ranked that high ever.
No, you can't say
No, that's hard.
that. No,
I think the high.
The Rock never got that high.
Did Rock get number two?
second highest. He's second. Swerve is
He-
the
He's tied
second
for
highest.
second with The Rock. The Rock was
Okay.
number 2 in 2000. Triple H was number 1, and then the
That makes
highest
more sense.
after that. The highest after that was 2016. Jay Lethal when he went on that world and TV title run simultaneously. He got to
That makes
number
sense.
5. Yeah, number 5.
Oh, so Swerve tied The Rock.
Yes, number 2. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That makes
Crazy.
much more sense.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wait,
man. I
wait,
think it
fellas,
should've
we
been
need
a
a
Rock.
timeout real quick. Greg, I need to hear about the mistake
The mistake.
about Dean Malenko.
So basically, the years later, the PWI guys came out and basically, not a mistake, but they apologized basically for like, yeah, listen, we know that by all accounts, Kenta Kobashi had a much better year, but like, look, we gotta sell to Americans, guys.
That's right. It was a national controversy.
Well,
Hey,
listen, PWI is mostly shrouded in kayfabe, so we got to remember that.
But that's the crazy.
That's why
That's
I
the
don't
same.
understand the arguments.
That's the
Then
same.
look at American wrestling at the time.
That's the same thing
Dude,
with the
I'm not-
Cody. That's the same thing with the Cody one, right? Because I'm like, okay, well, they give Cody's gonna edge out Swerve because Cody had a WrestleMania moment, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
well,
like,
then how do you beat
He's
that,
the
right? 'Cause
top
that's-
guy on the bigger company. Like it's
yeah, That's it. Like that's the criteria. Like how do you
Yeah.
get to be number one above that? Like it's
You need to have a one of a kind year to outrank the top guy in the top company.
I still obviously I appreciated Swerve just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But number 2 is not bad, man. Number 2 is actually incredible. But yeah, we had the top 10, and the top 10 is Cody at number 1, Swerve at number 2, Ospreay at number 3, Rollins at number 4, Naito at number 5. Interesting. Damian Priest at number 6, MJF at number 7, Jon Moxley at number 8, Gunther at number 9, and rounding out the top 10 is Mystico.
Oh, Mystico, nice.
Mystico's had a very well-traveled year, so I'm impressed with that.
Oh, yeah.
Fellas, here's the thing. Last year, Cody Rhodes went from number 10 to this year, number 1.
Mm.
Damn, number 10 is a little low for last year. I was thinking, who the fuck? Jesus.
Seems like it.
Right?
I mean, look. When you have a match that is the culmination of a 2-year story, basically not 2 years, basically like since like 2016 when he left, you know, and you have
Sure.
The Rock and the Undertaker in that match. It's hard to not put, especially in a kayfabe list, Cody Rhodes on top of that. You know, I think it's a little bit, and plus he's
Top
the
program,
marquee,
top match, top show.
top show, top champion. It's and you know, and even not in kayfabe, you know, just based on stature alone.
Not only that, but for the first time, I think for the first time since they've started doing the double shows. Actually, no, technically, maybe even the second time. Cody's angle took over both nights of the weekend.
Yes. Yep.
That's actually crazy. He did get double main event. Double main event.
Oh, John's back.
Yeah.
I am back. I never left, baby. So, Cody had a quote, and he said he's not one of those guys that acts like the PWI 500 number does not matter. He cares. And I was like, well, that is easy to say when you're number 1. But I believe that because I feel like he said that before. I feel like I've heard him say something similar to this before. And it is a thing in wrestling where wrestlers, they rank low or they don't end up on the list and they go, it's just a kayfabe list. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that is a good way, that because that's technically true. It shouldn't matter if you don't win. But when you say it out loud to everyone, you kind of tell us how much it matters.
Have you guys ever heard the term Mr. Irrelevant?
Yeah, the end of the last guy to get drafted or whatever.
Mr. Irrelevant this year in the PWI 500 was Blue Cane.
That's great.
It's gotta be Blue Cane.
Nick also pointed out that Big Justice bringing the boom in the PWI 500. What, I don't know what number he was though. But I like
Is that supposed to be that Costco guy?
it is the Costco guy.
Okay.
Dude,
I never heard of it. I had never heard of it until he got into the PWI.
I didn't know that he was a wrestler. Oh, Greg, I think you got your mic under your nose. I didn't know he was a wrestler until recently, and then he goes to the All Out and he gets invited, and they let him sit in the front row with little AJ, and they're watching the show, and I guess they film content in the back for the Costco guys, and he's got his wrestling gear on.
Dear God.
So
Of course, you have to.
He brought his gear. Like when they invited him to AEW All Out, he brought his gear. Like, do you think he thought he was gonna wrestle, or like, do you think he thought?
Old wrestling trope: always have your gear ready to go.
I might be on the card, little AJ. You never know.
Did you see the clip of him marking the fuck out when the reverse poison Rana off the top rope and Ospreay landed on his feet? He was losing his shit.
He's got big ass fucking arms in the air.
looking like the fucking Michelin Man.
Oh damn!
If the Michelin Man went on like a fucking 600-year training regimen, I don't know how else you work off all those rules.
What was really fun for me with this top 10 was having to apparently defend everyone from 4 through 10 as to why they were in it and not Drew McIntyre.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, in a kayfabe, they went through kayfabe, so like Drew is a loser. Like he's always losing, and it doesn't matter if there's a reason.
Most of this was pretty easy. Like, yeah, like Drew was world heavyweight champion for all of 3 minutes. Cool. Seth had a couple of months run. Naito was the top of the second biggest promotion in the fucking planet. Damian Priest was world heavyweight champion. MJF gets on there just for being the most talked about guy in the goddamn industry, despite the fact that he wasn't wrestling.
He got because they goes from June 2023 to June 2024.
Yeah.
So you get MJF. They give MJF all the Adam Cole stuff. And kayfabe he was world champion all the way through December.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
shit,
that's
that was
also
right
true.
before. So that would be right before Big Business, because Big Business was July 17th, so it was a month before Big
It was in
Business. where that
February.
came out.
Big dog.
Wow.
So once again, also MJF world champion, John Moxley,
What?
Gunther, world champion. John Moxley was the only one that I actually had to think about to defend.
Oh, it was March. You're right. Yeah.
He was world champion. He took that shit from Naito. Held it for a while.
And that was it. He took the belt from the other guy with the belt in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And Mystico is just the top guy in Mexico.
I mean, Mystico was traveling. He did a lot throughout different companies this year, so that was a big one. And of course, Gunther with his IC run.
But Drew McIntyre did have a hot program and is really funny on Twitter, so he should be in the top 10.
He
Sorry,
should
John, you were
be.
right. Big Business was March. I was
I
thinking
was like,
of
you were the one who was there. What the fuck? No.
sorry, I was
Okay,
thinking
you-
of the Blood and Guts from the year before. Sorry,
That's
'cause I was
right.
at that
Blood
too.
and Guts.
The
Blood and
days
Guts is
blend
July.
together.
But yeah, man, the PWI 500 is always fun for me. I used to buy it all the time. Now I don't see it on the shelves. You got to order it online.
No, I see it all the time around here.
I don't get it on my shelves. My Walmarts never have Pro Wrestling Illustrated. If I see a Pro Wrestling Illustrated, I'll snatch that shit right up. I used to get Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I used to get the Insider. The Insider. Whatever happened to the Insider? No fucking. I guess they couldn't support 2 magazines.
I like to check into those little stores in Manhattan that have the international stuff and see if I can find a weekly.
Oh, imagine Puro Wrestle Weekly. Puro Weekly. It's, I'm tongue twisting myself in Japanese. It's pretty.
Weekly Pro Wrestling also.
I gotta learn how
have
to fucking speak that shit before I go over there.
Pure Japanese weekly magazines under my bed in a Money in the Bank briefcase. I got 40 of them.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Which ones?
Yeah. So I got the one where Kenny won the title.
Wait, not every single one. Which one's your favorite? Which ones are your favorite?
So I have the one where Kenny won the title, where he's walking backstage with Kota with his arm around Kota after he beat Okada.
That's
And the other one I have is Cody standing over Omega after he hit that awesome fucking crossroads and turned on him. And he's like this on the cover with his hand over his face, and he's got the two black eyes. I'm like, oh shit, that's fucked.
I remember being so mad at that feud for even existing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
And then they dragged Kota into it, and it's just doing this fucking triple threat match.
That was terrible.
A lot of fans have decided that was like a bisexual love story, and I can't figure it out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sure I'll believe you, but I can't. I don't know where it's at, but I believe you that it is that.
I'm gonna say it's in one scene where it's I think as the Golden Lovers they have one match where they hit the double 450 or whatever they do, and they do this sort of double pinfall where it looks like they are about to just start macking in the middle of the ring, and then they just they don't do it, but they share this sort of weird kawaii fucking look toward each other.
But how does Cody factor in? It's what it's like. That's why
he doesn't at all. He's just
the Kenny and Kota thing I know about, but they're saying Cody, the triple threat match itself
I thought you just meant the Kenny Coda thing. I don't
Well,
know.
hey,
That's
Kenny
a lot
Coda, you
more
can get
obvious.
plenty of that in that one New Year's Eve special that I have been dying for all of us to watch one day.
I really want to
Jesus.
fucking film it and then air it on New Year's Eve, so we don't have to. We have to get a fucking free day that's a weird day that isn't one that's taken up by our regular activities.
Everything
There's
else.
so many of them.
There are. I did a dummy. I gave myself too many responsibilities.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
You
Next
might have
time
went
next time-
all in.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
ah, damn.
Next time I'm on with you guys and I'm actually home and not house sitting, I'll break out the briefcase. And show you
Mac
guys.
is breaking out the merch. So,
Yeah.
did y'all hear about that lawsuit that Kevin Kelly and the boys
Oh, boys.
are filing
Oh,
against
yeah.
AEW? That's actually funny as hell. But
Some misspellings, I hear.
Oh
just
my
to-
God, so many misspellings.
and handled by Stephen P. New, this guy, the Jim Cornette lawyer, the CM Punk lawyer. It's actually it's interesting that this guy is so bad at that. I didn't know, like, he's the one who handled that, right? I thought he was
Somebody associated with Jim Cornette is bad at something? Oh, color me surprised.
well, I thought
Womp
CM
womp.
Punk worked with him too. I thought Punk was smarter.
Womp
than
Yeah,
that.
okay. And
That's your guy. I thought he was smarter than that. Well, what happened?
CM Punk's my guy when he is, and when he's not, okay?
Hey,
That's
listen,
a
I-
very
bisexual love
unhealthy
story.
relationship.
essentially, Kevin Kelly says that AEW fired him, unlawfully, and that they're challenging the independent contractor status. But I'm like, you know how many people? I don't know how it works, but I for some reason know that it won't work for you. Like it doesn't work for anyone else, and for sure I don't think it's gonna work for you. You're not coming at this with any new direction or anything, and on top of that, you're handicapped. You got misspelled. Some of the complaints in the suit were like, they did a show and they didn't call me. What the fuck? Like,
Okay,
that's
and then
not.
and then the show that they called you, you missed your flight, and then refused to drive 10 minutes to another airport and get on another flight.
That's the Tate twins.
Wait,
They-
isn't that
they-
the boys?
Yeah, the boys they didn't want to drive to the 3-hour away airport, and that's understandable. But we always do things we don't want to do, right? That's just kind of like
The amount of them that make the towns, even just like grabbing a ride anywhere, like even CM Punk figured it out and got to the
Which
arena.
I think they were also attributing to there being like not only is the other airport 3 hours away, but hey, it's actually also very close to this fucking Taylor Swift concert, which is going to be packed.
everybody is wondering, like, I want to get on the car, and the boys are like, I don't want to drive to the airport. They listen.
I guess he
It's
said that.
hard to
I guess
defend. It's hard to defend.
What's his name? I guess Kevin Kelly said that Ian Riccaboni was talking shit about him on a Twitter
Yeah.
platform called Discord. That's not a Twitter platform, you
Oh
fucking
my.
idiot.
Showing your age, Kevin.
Anyway, he did mention Ian Riccaboni. I think Ian Riccaboni is one of the parties that's getting sued too, trying to say that he ruined Kevin Kelly's career by, I guess, I forgot exactly what Ian said to Kevin too. It was just something like, I don't like that guy. He got me
so
this
what he said
job,
was,
but I
so
don't
what he said
appreciate
was,
this.
I read it recently. So what he said was, somebody had asked him on his Discord and said, "What do you think of Kevin Kelly?" And basically, just paraphrasing, he said, Kevin Kelly likes to push his politics upon people. He's been walking around backstage talking about the movie Sound of Freedom and trying to push it on us. And they were like,
I knew
"Oh,
it had
so
to do with
he's
that
like,
movie.
he's like, yeah." He's like, "Oh, so it's a he's like a political guy." And he goes, "If you're not on the right side of the political landscape with Kevin Kelly, he's basically an asshole to you." And he did. So Kevin Kelly's saying that Ian Riccaboni slandered him. Ian Riccaboni was asked a question and was asked a follow-up question. So he gave his opinion. It's not like he went on fucking Discord and was like, "Hey, Kevin Kelly's a cunt." No, he was asked a question.
Hey,
Even
you're not
JR
obligated
JR
to
said
like
that it was
anyone.
frivolous.
You know, Jr. did laugh, and he was like, they're gonna end up losing all their money. I thought that was a funny thing.
Jim Ross talked about it.
Bonded, by the
Yeah,
way.
he talked about it on his podcast. He don't care. You know,
Kevin
Old man JR stopped caring a long time ago.
he really did because he
Kevin
talks
Kelly
about all of it. He even shits on. He doesn't shit on AEW, but he be like, "Damn, that really sucked."
Kevin Kelly responded by saying something like, "I've known JR for 30 years, and if he thinks this lawsuit is frivolous, he's got another thing coming, and he's going to need legal litigation against them one day because they'll screw him like they screwed me." I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
No, you see, everyone actually respects Jim Ross, and meanwhile, every time Kevin Kelly opens his mouth, he loses more and more.
Plus, also, like you definitely do not want the social blowback of screwing Jim Ross over.
I have a friend. I think we have a friend, Nick, who worked with Kevin Kelly for a little bit, and then now he hates him. So I didn't even ask
Very
why.
common.
I didn't even ask why. I just thought that was an interesting character witness thing. You know, like
I know some people that know people that worked with Kevin Kelly. I should ask around.
should be like, is he a dick? Anyway, we'll scoop
I
it
know
next
some
week
people who know some
the
people who
answers.
were in New Japan.
We'll scoop you next
Nick,
week
you
with
said
the
that
answer.
Old man Jim Ross don't give a shit. Did you see that clip floating around the other day? Someone was like, "Yeah, someone on the internet the other day said I look old." Well, yeah, of course, asshole. I look old because I am fucking old. Like, what do you want out of me?
My goat.
He's the best. So also within the last 7 days, I think, because we didn't get to talk about it last week at least, they fired Odyssey Jones. They fired Odyssey Jones.
Which is crazy because like a month or so ago, we literally just talked about how excited we were to see him.
He's so big and he's so strong and I'm actually okay.
They fired him with
future.
prejudice.
He's finally featured. He's not in catering anymore. It's going to be great. No.
We were happy to see him, but there was one person out there that wasn't happy to see him.
Okay.
Well, as it turns out, there were domestic abuse allegations, and clearly they were it was enough to fire him.
Yep.
There was no arrest though. There was no arrest. There was no legal stuff to be found by journalists. They found the person with the same name got arrested for domestic violence, but it's not him. So it does leave a lot of people wondering why and how, and is it this, is it that? I like to think that the company wouldn't have made that move if there wasn't enough evidence. I like to trust the company. I mean, and if not, then Odyssey Jones will speak out and then he'll sue the company, because if it was really, fucked up, he'll sue them and he'll have the right to do that.
Also, I wouldn't be surprised if he got fired for like, oh, you knew about this and you didn't disclose it.
Yeah, that's happened a lot before there.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
this lady comes to the PC and she said, and you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
Pack your bag.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. But yeah, no. If like I said, I don't want to speculate on anything. Like I told Mac earlier, but he is a very, very strong man. Like a real, an impossibly strong man. Like a fucking alien.
No amount of basing and support will make up for the fact that he carried both authors of pain.
I was going to say, that's like, what, 650 combined pounds?
They said he lifts at least 800. And they said they had to stop him from going even higher. Like, he can possibly lift even more than that. If that guy has domestic abuse allegations, get him the fuck out of there. That's scary shit. That's fucking horrifying. Like, bro, holy shit. Get that dude out of here. That's an act. You know when you call somebody a monster, like, that's a real monster. That's scary shit.
Physically,
did Odyssey Jones getting fired inadvertently save the New Day?
It might have.
No, the 10-year anniversary of the New Day is this November, and I imagine they're gonna do a big angle to maybe I don't know, if Biggie comes back, that'd be cool. If not, maybe they'll end it. Maybe it was supposed to be strife within the New Day until November, and Biggie would come back, and now they have to find something else.
Maybe.
Remember, there was also that Twitter account that no one was paying attention to, John.
Oh yeah, no, there was some. That was the thing that happened. Someone was like, Odyssey Jones beat my ass, Nobody listened to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that dude's out of here. Got him the fuck
Outta
out of here without prejudice. And I guess the last thing, which is pretty cool, we're going to talk about tonight. Giulia making her
Bit of a slow week.
No,
Oh,
I think I forgot to gather more news, but I don't think I'm missing anything either.
Oh man,
Which is weird. Maybe it was a slow week.
They get through a lot really fast. So
we
go through a lot every week on every show.
We spent
hey,
Jersey Radio, we're always on.
hey.
There's WWE. WWE is cutting down on house shows, which that was a report from a couple.
I
of
feel
years
like that was
ago.
something it's spoken about a long time ago.
We did, and it's finally happening. They have like a long time off, like in this fall, and then the TKO president said that next year they're cutting down even more live events.
Well, they can't handle the grind, huh?
This is interesting because it's gonna
Nick's camera just blows up.
It's gonna give them the
Oh god, there's an assassin here. Help me!
It's gonna give them back that little bit of leverage that AEW had with the less dates for similar money.
Yeah.
So now WWE be like, hey, look, now we don't got house shows either. Ha ha! What are you gonna do? That's funny, but also they're really trying to just not make they're saying that specifically. This is the quote from Mark Shapiro, possibly. Yeah. What we're doing is cutting events at WWE. So we're taking our marginally profitable events, untelevised events that Vince had put in place to grow the brand. Right? You're taking the show on the road, and we got to go to every city we can to grow the WWE brand. Well, the WWE brand, while we still have to grow it, it's on fire right now. So we don't need these marginally profitable events. So what was 300 events last year will be roughly 250 events this year, and next year will be close to 200. And that's a quote. So basically, he said, these little broke ass towns, which are broke ass shows where you don't give us no money, you'll never see us again. Bye bye.
Yep.
Aww.
See ya.
Bye bye, Bumblefuck,
See you later,
Indiana.
French Lick, Indiana.
Bye. See, it's always Indiana. Indiana will never see the WWE again.
Fargo, North Dakota, you're out of here.
You're out of here.
Bowling Green, Kentucky, bye bye.
Corpus
this
Christi, you're
reminds
on
me
your
of, like-
last leg. You fucking watch it.
This reminds me of like when when I'm watching all these ECW episodes, I'm just seeing buildings that WWE would never dare fucking run.
Oh shit.
Idaho?
Oregon is fucked. Oregon never sees shit. They'll never see another show again.
But you know who will get a show? Puerto Rico.
You know who's gonna get their house shows anyway? Madison Square Garden, motherfucker.
It's Christmas, bitches.
It's Christmas and the wrestlers have to wrestle. No, they don't do that. They don't do that anymore. You wrestle the next day. So go to sleep.
Oh,
Go
get
to
the
sleep
fuck outta
early.
here.
I whimper in Rosemont Horizon 08.
Oh no.
Rest in peace, your dreams.
I like how most of the time, whenever I reference the Rosemont, it's always for Greg.
And I get mad at AEW for running like shitty ass towns like Lexington, Kentucky tonight. And,
Yeah, right.
But they don't do house shows, and you got to service these small towns. So I guess it is what it is. But fucking,
I pulled up the list. Do you guys remember like 10 years ago when WWE started giving letter grades to the different towns they go to?
I forgot that happened. Oh shit,
Wow.
you're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
A, B plus, B and C grades.
Yep.
This is a bunch of C and D towns are going to hell. But yeah, I don't see WWE taking Raw to these towns to service them. So I just think you're never going to see wrestling there again.
Sorry, Peoria.
Bye bye.
What about? Did you guys?
AEW about to run them towns. So like, hey, are you starved for pro wrestestling?
That's pretty much what they
Yeah.
should do, right? Though
Take advantage of
that's
that.
a big ass.
Hey, Greg,
thing.
tell Poughkeepsie, New York that they're not getting any more shows.
Gotta get down to
There
the
you go.
garden.
Gad.
What was Jesus? What was
Yeah,
the good
he's
thing?
the
that
Gad.
keeps- I'm remembering now that ECW used to run a Poughkeepsie building all the freaking time.
Right?
Yeah, that's what Vince McMahon back in like the early 90s would run a show in Poughkeepsie, New York, and then go, "Welcome everybody to New York City," and it's like, "Oh, you fucking liar!"
Yeah, but they still do that. WrestleMania in New York, New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah. How is it New York, New Jersey? Why
because technically New York owns the plot because it's Giant Stadium.
That doesn't make it New York, you fucking sick capitalist motherfuckers.
They are wrestling on New York owned land. They had to do the same thing for the Super Bowl.
You people are sick.
Get a separate stadium. You got 2 fucking teams. Get a separate stadium, you piece of shit.
They took it from they need to get their own. I will just cut the piece of land out and take it away.
You're gonna fucking Canadian football like Magneto?
Yeah, actually. But Fightful also reported that the Hurt Business is looking to continue this faction outside of the WWE. They did file that trademark.
Hurt Syndicate.
And they've had discussions with AEW already.
Which now that I've sat on it on paper is actually probably a much better name than Hurt Business was.
I think we said that when we first heard it. Honestly,
I was a bit more. I think I was a bit more pensive, but having sat on it, it is better.
It makes more grammatical sense.
Excuse me, gentlemen. What business are you in? Oh, Hurt.
And they just punch you in the face. That's actually really funny, though. What business are you in? Bow. The Hurt Business. That's funny, but it's not like a real group name. The Hurt Syndicate is actually really cool. It sounds like a fucking group of killers. I don't foresee MVP. I don't want MVP to get back in the ring, but I think he's gonna have the freedom to do it now. And I don't want this. He is the cool. He was like a great fucking manager for Lashley. He was perfect. I wouldn't want to lose that dynamic so that he could.
He wants to do that. He wants to do that ball and elbow one more time. 25 years too late.
Fucking hell. Ballin'. No, sir. The kids don't know what that means.
They don't know who Jim Jones is. Okay.
He was on the AEW show, bro. A cannon.
He says he's still got a few matches left in him before he hangs it up. I know he's got one deal set up against one Josh Barnett coming.
I think he's gonna have an interest. I think they're gonna start a wee business. I think MVP is gonna use his AEW money to start a wee business.
With Prince Nana?
It's I don't know if you want to work with Prince Nana.
No,
it's just
no. Let him focus on coffee and call it a day.
It's just my personal experience.
You don't trust this coffee venture, John?
I told you guys he tried to scam me once in real life. I'd never forget. But what were we talking about? Now I'm just gonna tell you.
You're not gonna buy Nana's coffee?
I'm not gonna buy anything from Prince Nana. I'm not gonna give him a fucking penny.
Yeah, remember, he scalded the entire crowd when he whipped the coffee into the audience.
He did whip the coffee into the audience.
No.
Okay. But yeah, the Hurt Syndicate probably coming into AEW. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think?
I'm excited about it. I saw they were training together very recently, Bobby and Shelton. I look forward to the day that Shelton walks into a AEW arena and slaps Max Caster in the face.
Yes, please.
That's really all I need from Shelton Benjamin's time in AEW is him repeatedly full mounting Max Caster and just slapping him in the face over and over again.
Shelton Benjamin's crazy. Like, the dude is absolutely jacked. And on top of that, remember, he's got a collegiate background in being able to out-grapple Brock Lesnar of all people. So, yeah, he's legit.
This man has never to say he is better than Shelton Benjamin. I was just like, you are.
Like,
not better than some of the guys on your own roster, right? Dog.
Like, Max, you don't understand. Shelton Benjamin will legitimately end your life. Like, do not watch the way you speak to him. But, like, all three of these guys, like, they all can legitimately be killers. And I love the fact that we're going to have all three of them, well, not going to, but potentially having three of them in there, because that would be really cool. And in the world where we don't have the Blackpool Combat Club anymore, because we all know I would have loved to have seen Shelton in there.
I mean,
probably not
we
gonna have
do.
that, but
It's just it's represented in a different form.
it's not going to be the same anymore.
Yeah,
Kind of like
it's
New
now
Judgment Day.
Guys, it's called the Pac Pool Combat Club. Come on, get on board.
Pack
I
Pool
refuse.
Combat Club. You piece of shit.
All right, Matt, give us a thumbs up so that little like thumbs up just appears.
Oh,
It's so extra. Why is it like that?
I want to see them book Bobby Lashley like Brock Lesnar. What if that is that a thing we can do?
There it is.
Are we
I don't
okay
think
with
so. I don't think that'll
Like-
happen. I
They
love
don't
it, but I
know
don't think
how to
it'll
book
ever happen.
monsters.
that? Look at Will Ospreay. He said one thing I just want to scream right now, but it's way too cool. I'm gonna be on the same card with Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness. Like, that's gotta be wild for someone who actually grew up watching that, right? Like,
Yeah.
how the fuck am I gonna be the match
fact-
before Bryan versus Nigel?
Can I'll say this. As a big Bobby Lashley fan who was I was a big fan. It was the only interesting thing on Impact to me, the American Top Team run with Bobby Lashley. I was a big fan of the Hurt Business run where he did get to be WWE champion. Shout out for just like black excellence for a little while there in the WWE, right? The idea that Bobby Lashley would come in and get that kind of run while appealing in a vacuum would bother me in the sense that Hobbs and what's-his-face have not gotten that run yet. The big guy with MJF. Who was it, MJF?
Wardlow.
Wardlow, yes. Thank you. I don't know his name missed me.
Wardlow's not even on TV. Wardlow
Yeah,
is
like,
gone.
like what? To some degree, I just started asking, like, wait, why are we not giving it to the guys you weren't even paying?
He said, "Listen, I fucked that one up. What you want me to do?"
I mean,
honestly,
here's the one thing though that Bobby Lashley has. Bobby Lashley has, unlike those other guys though, he's got the name recognition and he's got that name value.
He does, but, like, you know why they
He
don't
would've
have the
built
name
it.
recognition? Because you fucked it up.
he said,
But
I fucked
here's
that
the
one up.
thing,
You
too.
still got a chance with Hobbs.
You still can make Hobbs work, but remember, with Bobby Lashley, he's also got the legitimacy to him as well with his MMA background and his army background.
Again, I'm all for it. Love Bobby Lashley. I just like it reminds me of a particular disappointment at the same time.
John,
I just had
wasn't
a
there
fun thought of sorry to interrupt you, Mac, but the fun thought when I mentioned the army thing, Swerve versus Bobby Lashley would absolutely be awesome.
Military rules or whatever.
Or Osprey and Lashley would be a killer too.
Do
John,
you
wasn't there a
actually
report
go ahead?
from Fightful this week that Hobbs is back on the road?
Yeah, he's back on the road. He was at Dynamite this week too.
Was he hurt?
He's with,
He was
yeah,
hurt very bad.
Yeah, he had a back injury, and
A knee, I think. I thought it was.
Oh, knee. It was a knee.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It wasn't. Yeah, he had to
From the
get surgery
Moxley
on it,
match
yeah.
for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. But he's back on the
Okay.
road now with AEW, and it should be interesting to see where he ends up.
You say they still have a chance with Hobbs. Do you think
For
Wardlow
sure.
is ruined?
Yeah, Wardlow's fucked. Wardlow's cooked. I think they had a chance, and then they brought him back in that weird ass Undisputed Kingdom shit, and it didn't work, and then he disappeared off TV again. What the fuck? How the fuck do you bring him back after that? What do you even do? Brother, let him go to NXT or something. Just let him go to WWE. What the fuck are you gonna do with Wardlow?
Dude, him and
you fucked it
Wardlow
up.
and TNA was
And
fun.
they could rebuild him. It would not
They
it
never-
would not shock me at all.
You're never listen to me. Look at me in my eyes, Mac. I'm never going to say this person should go to TNA. I will never,
Those words will never come out.
Listen, man.
never.
It's
I do
a
not
good
wish.
show. Watch
I do
that
not
shit, John.
wish
Done.
a small paycheck on nobody on purpose. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. You know, I didn't say I want Wardlow to get a pay cut. I said I wanted him to go to WWE. You're like, I want him to make less money. That's fuck. I can't ever say that to somebody willingly. That's why it bugs me out when people are like, man, I don't want Lashley to go to AEW. I want him to go to TNA. Brother, you think his wife wants him to go to TNA? Like,
Crystal
Like,
ball?
bro, they gotta feed the baby, man. No, for real. You're never gonna hear me say that. But yeah,
it might be a good show, but I don't know if anyone can find it.
That and like I said, you know they gotta get paid. That's why Jordan fucking Grace is going to
Double dip.
Working a way out.
She's like, I'm trying to get out.
She is so signed when that deal ends.
She's already signed. They probably signed. She was part of the conditions when WWE started working with TNA.
Oh yeah. You know, Sean's like, we'll take her, we'll take Hendry, and there we go.
Yeah. It's like, hey, can we borrow these guys? Sure. They have to sign a contract with us, though. What do you mean? Yeah, all people that we borrow need to sign contracts. What are you talking about?
Is there anyone in TNA that fits Sean's hiring criteria?
No, not right now. Jordan Grace, Joe Hendry's over, but I really don't see that lasting. Like, I don't know.
I mostly mean of the knockouts.
Oh no! In that, Greg, I think you're asking a loaded question here, and if I answer this, it's gonna be really dangerous how I answer this question. I mean, I don't see anybody on the roster right now who fits.
Jesus says John wants Wardlow to jump to Brian Pillman Jr. in NXT.
Oh, excuse me, Lexus King.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god, could you see Wardlow laying down for that fucking neck breaker?
He's gonna retire. Greg. Jesus is a sicko. He said Rosemary's. Rosemary fits the criteria.
I've never paid attention.
You know who could fit the criteria, honestly, but she's pregnant right now, is Killer Kelly.
I gotta look up some pictures. No, I get
privately with my door closed.
I remember her from the Mae Young Classic. I could see it.
Just because I want her to make some money, Kylan King.
Kylan King should have.
John has been on the Kylan King train since those few NWA spots he saw.
She should have been on TV. I don't understand what Tony Khan was thinking. He let her get signed by trash. He let her go to Impact. Like, that's not fair, man.
There are two people that I know John has banked on early, and he is waiting for those investments to come through. Kylan King and Khan.
Someday.
You know
Someday he's not going to be in the gates of agony, Greg.
the NXT criteria, but she's never going to get signed because she has absolutely nothing going on in her head, is Zaya Brookside.
Zaya Brookside. She was signed, though. She was
signed, and then she left, and then during COVID, she was like a COVID denier and saying that the vaccines gave people like autism and shit. You know,
They let Nia Jax back in.
Well, she has.
You got the family.
Yeah.
Family, yeah.
This fucking Zaya Brookside rocked up in Stardom as part of Mina Shirakawa's brand new group, and then promptly disappeared from it.
That was funny as hell. That actually was funny because.
Wait, what happened? What'd you say, Greg? I was reading Jesus' thing. What'd you say?
Zaya Brookside had rocked up in Stardom when Mina Shirakawa had introduced her own brand new stable.
Oh, okay.
And then promptly disappeared very quickly.
Yeah, well,
she was in the first. She debuted with Mariah May.
Yeah.
And it was just them two. It was Mina, Mariah, and Zaya Brookside, and they were Club Penis. Excuse me, Club Penis.
Oh,
Club Venus, sir.
it's late.
The
small what?
Crab penis.
No.
So yeah, that's. I wanted to talk about one or two more things. One thing I wanted to bring up, which is funny as hell, bracelet gate.
Bracelet
Yeah.
Gates.
Oh, what a bunch of scumbags.
Bracelet Gates. So WWE decided to make replicas of the bracelet,
course.
the famous bracelet in the CM Punk Drew McIntyre rivalry, right? So the bracelet, it's Chicago colored, red, blue, white, and black. It says Larry, and then it's got a star, and it says AJ. So they made an exact replica, and the girl tweeted out, like, the girl who made it, the fan who made this for CM Punk originally, she just tweeted out, like, damn, I wish I would have got heads up. Basically implying that she wasn't getting paid. And so she did tweet again, like, hey, I wish they would have wrote me, but they didn't. But they did actually offer me a show a few weeks back. So, but I just didn't know it had anything to do with the damn bracelet. They never mentioned anything. So WWE the next day takes the bracelet down. They take it off the website and they re-upload it, but it's slightly different now. It no longer says AJ and Larry. It just says CM Star Punk. So they have changed it ever so slightly so that the girl can shut up.
Legally distinct.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember when Vanilla Ice was trying to say that his thing didn't sound like Under Pressure? He was going, mine goes ding 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 ding. Theirs goes ding 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 ding.
He's right, man.
Brian May said no.
I just thought this was funny that WWE would still be practicing things like that. I don't know how that happened, but it felt weird that it even came out. Like, here's a replica of the fan bracelet. I was like, why would you wear a bracelet that has somebody else's wife and dog on it if you're not Drew McIntyre in an internal tornado of hatred?
Well, AJ has enough of a fan base that might sell.
If you happen to know an AJ and Larry in your life,
people just love dogs.
Yeah,
but imagine if someone saw you with that on. They were like, "Who's AJ?"
CM Punk's wife. You see, his dog.
Who's CM Punk? Oh, well, he's a wrestler. Oh, okay. So you're wearing a wrestler's. What's the other thing? That's the wrestler's dog.
If there's one thing
I'm gonna walk this way now.
If there's one thing I have learned from a certain litany of wrestling fans, it's that they collect these things and they only bring them out for wrestling shows because they are ashamed to be seen in public with wrestling stuff.
Understandable. No, so I wanted to bring that up. That was funny. I also the last thing was Giulia coming to WWE, making her
love Giulia.
Love Giulia. Arrivederci.
Jesus is out here hating John on the Impact roster.
Laredo Kid is still an Impact.
Rich show.
Jesus, you just checked the Impact roster and it's gross. Why is Rhino still there?
That's a thing that'll happen.
I like Rhino. I want him to get paid.
Laredo Kid is still an Impact. Oh God, let him free.
Yo, AEW Twitter put up a 80s style like workout montage with the Outrunners, and it's amazing.
I love them now. I thought I liked them ironically before, but I think I genuinely like. And they got such a big pop tonight. It was crazy. I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't get to reply to you about that, so I'll just say it out here. I remember you said to me that it gave you like you wanted them to wrestle FTR so you could sort of get these like NWA versus WWF vibes going, which I thought was funny because like I don't get WWF from them. I still get NWA, but it's like Midnight Express.
Yes,
I get that.
It's like the best comparison I can make is like it's like watching weird, colorful Midnight Express face the Andersons, who showed up in black tights and was about to punch someone.
Right. I definitely get that. No, I saw WWF because they give me their promos. Definitely give me like late 80s, early 90s.
I get that too.
You stand in front of the blue screen. But
Turbo Floyd with the Hogan hair.
Right? They're fucking goofs, though. I was saying I just want to see them in a big match environment just once before you try to do something important with them, and they fucking, it doesn't work. Just try with a big work rate tag team just to see what happens. We'll see. Though.
What I will say is, when I do see WWF in a gimmick, when the gimmick is I have a side job.
That's right. Are they? They're
yes.
personal trainers or something?
No. Well, I don't. Have they said they're personal trainers?
I don't know. I don't think so. Then.
No, because you know who do it. Yes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, because you know who does have that gimmick, John? Top Flight.
Oh God! Don't even. I told
that
you.
That is WWF right there.
Tony Khan was possessed by the spirit.
They are actual air traffic controllers now. Don't you get it?
He was
they're
possessed
pilots.
by the spirit of Vince McMahon.
Excuse me. Layla Gray is the air traffic controller.
Which is absolutely fantastic. She looks amazing in that.
She
the others
does.
don't need to be dressed like that.
If she would just come out dressed like that and they would be regular, that would actually work.
Right. I thought Layla was the only one dressed like a flight attendant. And then the other two had the funny pants on. I was just like, oh no. They got gimmicked to hell. Maybe they needed to hide their. Maybe they needed to hide their knee braces.
Now we can hear you, Mac.
We couldn't hear you before. Nope.
Yeah, maybe they needed to hide their various knee braces.
What's up, Joshua? He says, Chef.
As one does.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, Greg, you were talking about WWF, like Vince McMahon didn't pay him enough money because you had IRS as the accountant, you had Man Mountain Rock as the lead singer of a rock group, and then you had Duke the Dumpster Drosy and all those guys,
Repo Man,
like Repo. Oh God, Repo Man, yeah. God, they had nothing for poor Barry Darso.
The character will never diss Barry Darso.
They had nothing for Barry Darso.
Everyone's gimmick was that they had this other job, but also they wrestle on the side.
And then it's like, what was the Warlord?
Oh God. Something out of Masters of the Universe, I guess.
Vince, tell us more about what the Warlord does on the side.
Excuse me, Vince McMahon, could you tell us what Bastion Booger does?
That's like I don't even have a witty joke for it. It's too late. I ran out of steam.
I've got this idea. You're going to be an evil dentist.
We got to talk about Giulia really fast before we can close this off. Giulia debuted at the end of NXT No Mercy. Not the end, but the co-main event. She faced off with Roxanne.
No, that was the end.
It was.
Yeah, it was the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that's right. Okay.
Giulia showing up was how they ended the show. Nothing else happened after that.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. we don't acknowledge anything beyond whatever's going on in that scene.
I certainly turned it off. It was clearly over.
It felt like it. So she comes out, faces off with Roxanne, and then on Tuesday she comes out again, and Chelsea Green interrupts because it's funny. She hits Chelsea with a soft knee, and it gets, or at least it looks soft from the angle that they first showed it from. Max says they showed another angle online.
Oh, you talking about the match or the
first knee? Yeah, they had that first knee last week.
Okay, yeah.
We're like, oh my
God,
that
looked weak as fuck.
I'm gonna try to find the other angle right now.
Max says there's another angle where it looks like it clogged it, but I need to see that because it was like a shoulder.
Try to find it.
Because I might have seen it before because I saw a lot of people talking about, well, Chelsea's concussed.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, they did have they had a match this week, and it went about as good as it can go. It's Giulia versus Chelsea Green. I don't know if you're I don't know what you're expecting, but
it's Chelsea Green.
I think Giulia's gonna do a-okay in WWE. I think she's got everything it takes to be a superstar. She can even speak pretty decent English. I mean, all things considered.
I saw that one Lucha Underground match where it was like, okay, maybe Chelsea Green isn't as shit as I thought.
What
but
the fuck?
Also,
Sorry.
But also, like, she had Pentagon supporting her, so maybe it's just the difference.
Oh, fuck. Jesus. Jesus Christ.
Just want to keep us up, I guess.
Yeah.
That's so
Okay,
much
I don't know
important.
anything about this. Hit me.
It's shocking, I guess.
God damn it, Jesus, you're such a beautiful angel. Thank you for that. That's actually that's the big thing we needed to talk about.
Some ironic wording there.
Wave.
WWE and Fox's relationship
okay, I
was
found it.
interesting.
Wait, are we still talking about Giulia?
Yeah, well, Giulia, he's about to show us.
Giulia.
Okay, they framed it in a way.
Uh-oh, we
here-
lost him.
Oh, no, we're back. We're back, Mac.
Well, anyway.
They framed it in a way as the
He's gonna have
very
to-
good WWE production team is known to do.
He's gonna have to hold on to that video until the end. Yeah, we're gonna play it at the end of the show. So WWE and Fox's relationship is over. But Greg, Fox is not done with professional wrestling. They were not ready to. They were not ready to get rid of professional wrestling. They just didn't want to pay for expensive professional
They
wrestling.
are not ready to be without you.
They were like, this is a little too expensive. It's cutting into the profits that we're getting from the ads, so get rid of them. And Tony Khan was like, hey, so me and WB, we're in an open relationship now. I'm not exclusive to them anymore.
I heard you wanted less production value.
Hello, I'm rich. No, so they AEW had trademarked a thing, a phrase, or AEW Shockwave, and it was for the usage of television, professional wrestling show, and people were like, "Oh, there's gonna be a show called AEW Shockwave," and then rumors started that yes, AEW is not gonna be networking, not gonna be exclusive to WBD anymore, and then rumors started that it's gonna be Fox, which is crazy ironic considering Fox just dumped WWE because it was too expensive.
Among other issues they apparently had with that company.
Like, hey, they got a guy named AR Fox on the roster. That's perfect for us.
So there's the final rumor is that it looks like it might be a AEW Shockwave 1 hour on FS1.
Okay, so they're not going full bore with it.
That's a rumor though. We just don't know.
I get sure, but like I'm addressing a rumor, assuming it was true.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Or at least that's what the talent thinks backstage.
Okay.
That it'll be a 1 hour show on FS1, not on broadcast television. Though.
Yeah. I thought they were gonna go hard and be like 2 hours on Fox.
Ooh.
Could you imagine? I mean, it's not.
Right out the gate.
It's not impossible, right? Could
Yeah.
you imagine? Could you? That would actually be crazy. You were like on Friday nights, like AEW Shockwave. No, not on the
Friday
same
night
slot.
might not be the best spot.
I'd say Thursday
Take this
nights is
slot.
pretty fucking good. Impact could get the fuck out of here. You can go back.
Really?
You can.
Oh,
move
sorry,
over.
Impact. You said yeah.
Yeah, take Thursdays. Thursdays is fine. They used to be SmackDown on Thursdays.
Used to be.
Jesus says, does it replace Rampage? I think Rampage becomes a
Rampage, baby.
I think Rampage becomes part of a 3 hour block with Collision on TNT. Honestly, I really
That
Already.
sounds like a poor idea.
no. Actually, it's a lot better than fucking shit they got going on now.
Yeah,
Here's
I've done that a few times.
Rampage in the middle of fucking Friday night, and here's Collision on Saturdays when you're all at your aunt's party and your bachelor party and your fucking things that you get forced to go to because you're all socially awkward wrestling fans who don't go anywhere on your own.
John, what is up with your headphones?
It's broken. I gotta
this is
keep
okay.
fixing it.
It was the
That why you
shockwave.
keep adjusting
You
it?
Yeah, I keep fucking adjusting it because it's broken on the inside. It's crazy.
Just like me. Remember though, one of the things
Wow.
with Fox when they did sign WWE and SmackDown was they wanted something that was very adult oriented. Fox has a lot of violent programming here and there,
Yeah.
so it sounds
Didn't
like a
they
perfect
also
marriage.
want? Didn't Fox also want more of that sports-based programming?
Yep.
Yeah, WWE was like, yeah, sure. We don't know what the fuck that is. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out because the AEW's WBD deal is pretty much done, according to everybody involved. Tony Khan keeps hinting that it's going good.
Mhm.
I mean, anything can happen in the last 99%, or in the last 1%. You just never know. But it does look like all the things we thought are going to happen.
Can
Look
I
at
get
that race.
Can I get AEW on Fox with the Fox Sports theme?
Oh, that'd be cool as fuck. With the they got to get one of the robots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
Hey,
Dun,
John,
dun, dun, dun.
see this before we go?
Yeah, that's one.
They WWE'd it up a little bit, so I'm just going to show it to you. You ready?
As they do.
Hold on.
How are we gonna?
I don't know if you're gonna. Hold on.
No, you
Shit, I might
cannot
have-
get Shannon Sharp to show up as Jesus.
So here we go.
Our truth like commentary.
Where's
Yeah,
that
that's an
play?
ass. That should ass. They changed the camera angle to fix it
Here,
because
watch it.
they
I'm
got
gonna blow.
they
I'm
got
gonna blow
clowned
it up one more.
online.
Okay,
That's funny as
Max Screen is dark for me, so
He's
Oh, you can't see it.
you can't see it.
I see it.
no, Max Screen has been dark for me for a while. I just thought everybody else saw the same thing.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
really?
Yeah,
Really? Oh, hold on.
I'm not having that problem.
I'm
Hold on,
watching
let
him
me-
right now.
Let me see.
that's
Hold on.
weird.
Let me refresh it one more time.
No, not you. He can't see you at all. Oh yeah, they definitely changed the angle on that. Make it
Yeah.
make it a little better. But,
Yeah, you can't see me at all, Greg?
No, I just no.
you are a black screen.
Oh, let me try. Let me try this. Can you see me now, Greg?
No,
The audience
I
can
just
see
think
you.
it's something on my end because like
Oh,
these
okay.
guys can see you, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Well, the audience sees you.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
So-
that's really what's important.
That's pretty much all of us.
Joshua
Oh,
Madrano wants to know: will Shane entering AEW running Moxley's new stable be the Shockwave?
that's certainly. I mean, I don't know if they would have had to.
System.
I don't know if you would have had to make a TV title out of that. I mean, imagine it's 2 hours. That would actually be a real shockwave.
On Fox.
That
Oh no!
Jesus
would
Christ.
they-
no, I don't
thing
hate.
where they have Shane run Shockwave on FS1 and totally be separate from Tony running it. Like
That
like
sucks.
Oh no,
like
not the roster split.
yeah.
No, they can't keep trying that.
They tried it already and it sucked. It stinks.
Keep doing this to us.
House of Black exclusive to Shockwave.
But yeah, Mike. This is one last thing I wanted to show everyone before we got out of here. Let me see if I can.
What's that? It's a double chunk chocolate cookie! Big AJ, what's that? It's a double chunk chocolate cookie! AJ, what's that? It's a double chunk chocolate cookie! AJ, what is it with everyone in this double chunk chocolate cookie? I get it. Great double chunk chocolate cookie. Boom. It's a double chunk chocolate cookie! Boom!
I hate that it played.
Just super zoomed
what
in.
the-
It fucking played
What
all
did you
zoomed
just
in.
have us
This
watch?
Stupid
I
ass
wanted to
fucking
kill
video.
myself watching that. What the
I don't ever
fuck?
want to see that again
You
on my
can't
TV.
say that.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, man. Listen,
What was that?
What did you
That's,
do?
Little chunk chocolate cookie.
double chunk chocolate cookie. Boom! That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
I don't
I
think
hate
That's
everything.
an AEW
Hershey
Shockwave.
Radio, we're live all the time. daily podcasts. That's what we do here. Daily streams, daily post-show rewinds. After every single major wrestling event of the week, we're on after Raw. We're on after NXT. We're on after Dynamite. We're on after Impact, SmackDown. We even do an NXT Level Up show. We got our boys at 3NT Wrestling Podcast on Sunday afternoons. And of course, us, the Dirt Sheet Radio Newscast, every single Thursday morning.
Yes.
But yeah, man, thank you all for joining us. This has been an excellent episode of Dirt Sheet Radio. You beautiful souls, have a good day or a good night.